everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session of English grammar, we are going to continue with our chapter determiners. Now this is part 9 of determiners. Till now we have already did 8 parts on determiners. And what is there in this session? Let us have a look over that. Well, in this session we will discuss the following topics. Here we'll discuss the uses of determiner none. Okay. And after that, we'll discuss the uses of determiner neither. And after that, we'll discuss uses of determiner either. Well, neither and either I have already discussed with you in the part of conjunction as well. But in this session, we are going to elaborate these 2 points, okay, or these determiners. So let's begin this session. First of all, we have a word none. This is concept number 17 of determiners. None, as you can see the word that it is giving the negative implication. Okay, it means when something is negative or when you are negating something, that is none. None is indeed used as a pronoun and often means not one, not any, akin to nothing in certain contexts. Now, what happens when we talk about a word none? It can be either a pronoun or it can behave like an adjective. How? For example, if you talk about none and after that we have a noun. Okay, for example, none student, but this sometimes look awkward. It means it looks awkward. Okay, so what we do, we use none as a pronoun, not an adjective. Okay, we use it as a pronoun, not an adjective. Why so? Because if we say none of the people or none of the students, that will look appropriate. Okay, so none is basically not a determiner, but it behaves like a pronoun. Okay, or it is basically used as a pronoun. However, it can be used as a determiner if you are using it just before a noun. Okay, but how is it used? Also, it can be used as a individual subject. Now, you can say that it is a pronoun, not the determiner. Okay, so we cannot use none plus noun. This structure does not look appropriate. Okay, now let us move to the next one. None plus of plus determiner plus plural noun. Now, what can happen with the phrase none of? We can have determiner before the plural noun. Here, the most important thing is this plural noun. After none of, we should write plural noun only. Why so? Because if we have 2 or more things, then only we can negate all the things together. Okay, and for that, this none word is made. If I say for only one, I can negate it as it is in the single sentence with the help of not or no. Okay. For example, no student, no boy. Okay. But none negates all the points together. Okay. Used when referring to a part of a group or quantity. For example, none of it or none of them for example, none of milk. It means which is showing the quantity and we are using none, a part of it, and we are negating all together. That is why we use the word none. Indicates not any part of a specific group or quantity. Okay, for example, if there are 50 people, and if I say none of them, it means I'm negating all of them. Okay, or I'm excluding all of them. Okay, now let us move to the next one. For example, none of the students passed the test. It means here none refers to not any student in the group of students. Okay. For example, if I say none of the students, it means if there are 50 students in that group, none of the students, it means not a single student has passed the examination. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. None of plus pronoun. This can also happen when used when referring to a part of something more generally, often seen with plural pronouns. Okay, for example, I can say none of them. So them is the plural pronoun. None of them knew the answer. It means none refers to not any person among them. It means there was not a single person who can answer or who could answer the question. Now, singular or plural verb agreement. Now, how do we use? What kind of verb can we use with the word none? Is it singular or plural? And if it is possible, we can use both. But how? Let us discuss that. General rule, none can take either a singular or plural verb. Now, as you know well, that none is first of all, is a pronoun. And next of it, we say that howsoever or how many soever are the options available to us, none can negate all of them. Okay, but none is a word. For example, if you take the word either, neither, and after that we place of, we use plural noun basically and singular verb. Okay, if we have phrase any, one, or neither, either. Well, neither, either we'll discuss later on. But in case of none, what we do, we can have both the structures. None plus plural noun, plus of plus plural noun plus plural verb, as well as none plus plural of plus plural noun plus singular verb. Both these structures are possible with the help of none, or in this word with this word none, but only with none, not any other word. None can take either a singular or plural verb. Traditionally, it takes singular verb when referring to not any group of things. Now, it is not like traditionally, you can use it anywhere. Since none can be thought of as short for no, not one, however, it often takes a plural verb in everyday usage, especially when the sense is not any referring to a group. Singular, none of the information is relevant. Okay, because this information is again uncountable, so we can use singular verb. Okay, but none of the options is suitable. Now, none of the options are plural, is suitable. We can also write none of the options are suitable. This sentence is also correct. This option is also correct, or this sentence is also correct. So both the sentences are correct. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Distinguish between the usage of none and neither and typical verb agreement. Now, one more thing about none is when we use the word none, we can say that when we are referring to some uncountable noun, we should use only singular verb. But if we are talking about some plural options or plural noun, we can use plural as well as singular. Okay, depending on the context or the sense or the meaning of the sentence. Okay, for example, people were going to people were going on a trip. Okay, none was you can say none was following the rule. Okay, it means not a single person even was following the rule. Okay, but if I say um, none of the sorry, if I say people were helping one another, none were none were hesitated. Okay, it means no one was hesitated when we are referring to each one of them. Okay. Now, usage, none is used to refer to not any or not one of more than two items of. It can imply zero out of a group, regardless of the group size, as long as it's more than two. Okay. Now, the usage of none is just when we negate all the options which are available to us. So none negates all the points together. Okay. This is the basic use of none. Now, let me tell you something about neither, either, and none. First of all, let us take the word neither. Suppose we have some distributive words. For example, we have the word either. After that, we have word neither. After that, we have word either, neither, any, one, or none. Have these options. After that, we can have of, and after that, we can have plural noun and singular. So this is the basic concept. Now, whenever we use either plus of plus plural noun and singular verb, okay, if we have any of these words, we can have plural of, then plural noun, and then singular verb. But what is the difference between these words? Either and neither, first of all, are used only for two persons. It means when we are talking about only two people, we can use either or neither. If we are talking for more than two people, okay, we are talking about more than two, we can use any of these like any, one, or none. But how do we use them? Either is used in positive sense, whereas neither is used in negative sense. Likewise, anyone is used in positive sense, whereas none is used in negative sense. Okay, so this is the actually frame of these words. If you are talking about the word either can be used individually without or, but it should be used before noun or it can be used as a test. For example, after either we can have no of, then plural noun, but singular verb, because either means when we are taking one of the two options. Okay, for example, one of the two options which are available to us, we are choosing one of them. We use the word either. Neither means when we have two options but we negate both of them. None is used for when we have various options but we negate all of them. Okay, or if we have two or more indications but we do not consider any of them, so we can use this word none. Okay, and any one are used in positive sense. For example, if we have more than two options available and we have to choose one of them or any of them. Okay, so that is actually the meaning of that is actually the usage of these words. Now, if I say that neither of his three friends, neither of his three friends, neither of his three friends helped him. Okay. Now, is this sentence correct? No. Why so? Because here we are talking about three friends, whereas we are using the word neither, which is incorrect. So this neither is incorrect over here. Instead of this, we can use the word none. Okay, so none of his three friends helped him. This will be the correct sentence. Okay, we cannot use the word neither. Why so? Because none can be used for more than two, and for only two, we can use the word neither. Okay, so here this sentence is incorrect just because of the word neither, and we cannot use this three. We cannot remove this or replace this three with two. Why so? Because we cannot kill any of the friend of his. How many friends he has. Okay, how many soever. Okay, so we cannot reduce the number of friends, but we can replace the pronoun to make it correct. So now let us move to the next one. Here, verb agreement. Traditionally, none has been used with singular verb, especially when it means not one. However, in modern usage, it can take either a singular or plural verb, often depending on what it's referring to and the context. Singular example, none of the information is accurate. Plural, none of the cars are available. Okay, so you can see over here, none of the cars, it means there are various cars, and none of the cars are available. It means neither of them. It means not a single of them. Okay, so here we can use it in singular as well as plural noun. Okay, a plural basis. Now let us move to the next one. Neither, usage. Now we'll discuss the determiner neither. Now, neither can be used as a determiner as well. None is only used as a pronoun, but neither can be used as a pronoun as well as a determiner. When we saw the example of neither of plus plural noun and singular verb, there neither plays the role of pronoun, but we can also say neither student, or that means neither of the two students. Okay. Neither is specifically used for two items of people, meaning not one nor the other. It is used in negative constructions only. Okay, and because these two words, none and neither, they both are negative words, we need not write not again in the sentence to make the sentence negative, because whenever we begin any sentence with the word neither or none, they themselves make the sentence negative. Verb agreement, neither typically takes a singular verb. Now, it is typically means no other verb can be used with it. We can never use the word a plural verb with the word neither. However, after of, we can use plural noun, but verb should be singular, because neither says that we have two options, but we don't want any. Okay, we don't want to choose any of them. That is why we use the word neither. Okay, so neither can be used with plural noun, but it should take only singular verb. Also, if neither is followed by of, then only it can have plural noun after it, otherwise it won't. Okay, neither of the options is suitable. It means we have two options and we think that both of are not the suitable options. That is why we are using neither of the options is suitable. Now there is one more thing, which the sentence which I have said just right now, that is both of are not. Okay, where this both is always used in positive sense when we are talking about two together. Now, what is the difference in this sentence which I said? actually this sentence which I said, it is just to explain you, but otherwise it is grammatically incorrect. Why so? With the word both, we cannot use the negative word. With the word both, we cannot use negative sentence. In negative sentence, we cannot use the word both. How? Let me tell you. If I say both of us are not going the party. Suppose this is the sentence. Very simple sentence that both of us are not going to party. But here us should be referring to two. Why so? Because both can be used only with two. But as I told you that both can be used only in positive sense. But I have made this sentence negative with the word not over here. It means I want to say that there are two people, suppose I and you, and we both don't want to go to the party. Okay, or I don't want to go to the party, even you don't want to go to the party. Okay, so in this sentence or in this context, this word both is incorrect. Why so? Because basically we are talking about two, that is fine, but both cannot be used in negative. In that case, this word both is incorrect. Now, what happens if I just remove this word not? Suppose if I remove this word not from, will the sentence be correct? If I say both of us are going to party, that will change the meaning of the sentence, but that is not the requirement. We cannot change the meaning of the sentence. We can change the structure of the sentence, but we cannot change the meaning of the sentence. This thing you should keep in mind while you are spotting the error. You should not change the meaning of the sentence. The meaning of the sentence should remain same until after the reconstruction or after the rectification. Okay, so first of all, if we say that this word not is incorrect over here, if I remove this not, the entire sentence will be incorrect. Why so? Because the sentence will be both of us are going to party. That will make the sentence positive. Also, it will imply that I want to go to party and you also want to go to party. In fact, we both are going to party. So that will change the situation, change the entire situation, change the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so this is not the requirement. We cannot remove this two from. Okay, now if I don't want to remove this both, then what to, sorry, I don't want to remove this not, then what to be removed? Here both can be removed. Now here, just because of this both, we can use the word neither. Because neither negates the point. Now, if I use this neither, neither makes the sentence negative. Now, if I say neither of us are not going to party. Now again, do you find the sentence correct? Why so? Because we have used the word neither though, but again, it is not making the sentence correct. Why so? Because we have already used the word not over here. Also, we have used the plural verb over here, which is not the requirement in the case of neither. When we make any sentence with the help of neither structure, we cannot use there is are and not. Okay, neither, there is a requirement of the word neither, that after neither we can have of as a preposition, and after that we should have plural noun but singular form of verb. In that case, this are not is incorrect. Why so? Because neither is itself a negative word. We cannot use not with it. Therefore, this structure of sentence is also correct. So this type of sentence is also incorrect, or this type of sentence is also incorrect. So these two structures are incorrect. Okay, now what can be the correct structure then? The correct structure will be neither of us is going to party. Is going to the party. So whenever we make any structure or whenever we make any sentence, we should keep this in mind, that what to use and what to not. Now the sentence is absolutely correct. Okay, because we have used the word neither, then of, then us, which is plural subject, and is, which is singular verb. Okay, so this is how we can make the sentence which is negative. We cannot use both in the in the negative sentence. It should be used in positive sentence only. However, in speaking, while speaking, we do this mistake many a times. I hope you must have also done the same mistake while speaking. And I too do this, but I know well that where I am incorrect. That is why I told you that sentence just to say that that was incorrect and how to rectify it. Okay, so this is very important part of the session. Now let us move to the next one. And this is also the point to be remembered. Now, here we'll discuss the word none again. No, not any of, not one of, and no one can convey a similar meaning to none. These phrases can be used to denote the absence of something or someone in various contexts, often carrying a singular verb. Meaning, none means not one or not any part, member, or trace of something. It is often used both for countable and uncountable nouns. None of the cakes was left. It means there are several cakes, and none of the cakes, it means not even a single cake was left. Singular verb for countable noun. None of the advice was useful. It means no singular verb for the uncountable noun. None is a pronoun and can stand alone or be followed by of as and a noun phrase. No, meaning no negates a noun directly and is used to convey the complete absence of something. Do you know the difference between not and no? What is the difference between not and no? Don't tell me the difference of tea. Okay. Well, what is the difference between not and no? Is actually, you must have heard not, I'm not going. Okay. But have you heard not a student? No. No. Why so? Because not is actually, if you talk about the word not, it is actually an adverb. And adverb can qualify a verb, whereas no is an adjective, which can qualify a noun. Okay, we must have heard about no student, but we cannot say not a student. Okay, so no student is correct, whereas if we talk about not going is correct, we cannot say no going. Okay, so if we use the word no going or no touching, that is somewhere the word which is gerund, that is not a verb. Okay, so these are the words not and no. The difference between the two is not is an adverb, whereas no is an adjective. The basic difference. The two. Usage no student was in the room. Structure no is used as an adjective before a noun. Okay. Not any of. This phrase indicates a negation of each element within a group or collection. Not any of these students was interested in this topic. Not any of is used with plural noun but takes a singular verb when emphasizing the individual elements of. If I say not any of, it means I'm emphasizing that even not even a single student want to do so. So here we are emphasizing individually everyone. Not one of. This specifically highlights the absence or negation of a single member from a group. Not one of the candidates was qualified for the position. Not one of the candidates was qualified for the position. It means not a single candidate was there who qualified was for the position. Okay. It focuses on an individual element within a group and is often followed by plural noun but takes a singular. No one. This specifically refers to the absence of any person. No one was present at the meeting. Okay, so we can simply write this: no one was present at the meeting. No one is a compound pronoun and always refers to people, not objects or abstract concepts. Now we'll discuss another concept, that is neither or either. Either and neither are used when referring to a choice or situation involving two entities or options. One is very, very important about either and neither, that either and neither can be only used with two entities or options. As I have already discussed this with you before as well, that either and neither can be used in case of two options available only. If there are more than two, we cannot use the word either or neither. Either is used when referring to one or the other of the two choices. It means when we have choices, that is A or B, and we have to choose either one of them. Okay. Which one will choose? That depends. For example, you can choose either the red shirt or the blue shirt. Okay, so you have two options. but you can choose any of them, one of them. Either can function as a determiner, a pronoun, or a conjunction. As a conjunction, it is often paired with the or in sentence. Okay, we use either or structure as the conjunction. This pair is very common and widely used. Neither neither indicates that the statement being made applies to neither of the two options or entities mentioned. For example, neither the red shirt nor the blue shirt fits me. It means both of the shirts, they are not fitting to this person. Okay, again, I'm telling this word not with the word both just to make you understand. Structure like either, neither can be a determiner, a pronoun, or a conjunction. As a conjunction, it is typically paired with nor. When referring to situations involving more than two options or entities, other terms like none, any, no one are generally more appropriate. And we cannot use neither for more than two options available. For example, for three or more options, none of these shirts, red, blue, or green, fits me. Cannot say neither because we cannot reduce the number of shirts, but we can change the pronoun to rectify the sentence. Now, either and neither are versatile words used in various structures and sentences, often followed by a singular or plural noun. The verb agreement can vary depending on the structure. Either, neither plus singular noun. In this structure, either or neither is followed directly by a singular noun. The verb is typically singular verb when the noun functions as the subject of the sentence. Either option is acceptable. So you can say that just after either we have noun. Okay, this is noun, and this noun should be singular. But if I write either of the options, so here, because I am choosing one of the two, there we need to have plural noun if we have this of the structure. But if we are simply using the word either, it should be followed by singular noun. That is it. If you are just, if the noun is just followed by the word either, if the word either is just followed by any noun, the noun should be singular. But if we have the structure like either, then it is followed by the preposition of, then we have noun. So this noun should be in plural. Neither suggestion seems useful. Now here you can see neither is the determiner. Suggestion is noun over here, which is uncountable. Seems useful. Now seems is used because neither means when suppose we have two suggestions, but both are not both does not seem both of them do not. Okay, both of them are not good. Okay, so here we can use the word neither. Now let us move to the next page. It says either plus neither, either or neither plus of plus determiner. Now if we have now we know well that either and neither, if it is followed by of, it should be followed by plural noun. But before plural noun, we can also have determiners, but the verb should be singular in all these cases. Cannot use plural verb in any sense. When either or neither is followed by of, then a determiner like the, these, or those, and a plural noun, the verb should be singular. The verb should always be singular in any structure. However, the noun can be plural. In fact, the noun should be plural if there is a word of. Okay. Now, either of the solutions is viable. If you see this, either of the solutions. So here we have written either of these solutions. If I say either of these solutions, so we may have two solutions over here, but is viable. Okay, it means one is viable. Now let us move to the next one. Now same happens with the word neither. Singular verb, neither of the proposal fits the criteria. Now whether we have the word either or neither, if it is followed by of and if it is followed by a determiner, then noun should be plural, but the verb should be singular always. We cannot have plural noun in any case. Now let us move to the next one. Either, neither plus of plus pronoun. When either or neither is followed by of and a pronoun, the verb form can also depend on whether the pronoun is singular or plural. However, in many cases, a singular verb is used. In fact, mostly only singular verb is used. You can say only Verb cannot be plural. Example, singular noun. Either of us is capable of handling the situation. Now, either of them is welcome to join us. Now, there is no plural pronoun. Okay, this is plural pronoun, sorry. Plural pronoun, either of them, but the verb should be singular, is welcome to join. Whether there is singular pronoun or plural pronoun, the verb should be singular only. Neither singular pronoun, plural pronoun, neither of us is available tomorrow or neither of them is available. Whether we have plural pronoun, but we should only have singular form of the verb should be singular always. Either and neither can be used to mean each of the two, neither, not either of the two, respectively. They are typically used in context of two entities, choices, or options. When used in sense of each of two, either refers to both entities separately, but one at a time. It suggests that what is said applies to both entities, but individually. There are two doors, and either door will lead you to exist. Meaning each door, when considered separately, will lead to the exit. Neither, on the other hand, negates both the entities together. It means not the one and not the other. Example, there are two suggestions, but neither suggestion is practical. Meaning not the first suggestion or the second suggestion is practical. This is how we use the word neither or either. Context of use, emphasis on individuality. When you use either in this way, there is an emphasis on the individuality of the choice. For instance, you can park on either side of the street. Means you can park on one side or the other, and the same rules applies to each side. Context for not either in place of neither, emphasizing the exclusion of both options. Not either is often used when you want to emphasize the individual exclusion of both options or elements. It breaks down the negation into two parts, focusing on the rejection of each option separately. Neither option is suitable, not either option is suitable. You can use both the factors, however, neither is used mostly, not either. Okay? So not either is just equivalent sentence, but we generally not use this sentence in practical life. So we can say neither option is suitable, that is appropriately correct. But if we use the word not either, however, it can be used, but it should, it is rarely used. Okay. Now, responding to questions or statements, not either is sometimes used in responses, particularly when negating a previous statement or question that mentioned two options. Question, do you want coffee or tea? Now, you can respond. In this case, not either can be used practically. Neither, thank you. Or you can say not either, thank you. It means not this one or not that. In that case, we can use not either. This is also something very, very good phrase that you can use in your life practically, because that will make your communication better or communication better. Rules and considerations, grammatical construction. When using not either, it usually precedes a noun or a clause. This construction is typically not either or noun clause. In contrast, neither can stand alone or be part of a compound structure like neither. Neither nor. Now, in case of neither nor, we should follow the structure that both the options which are available, they should follow the word neither or nor. Verb agreement, the verb agreement not either follows the standard rules of negative sentences. If the subject is singular, use a singular verb. If it is a plural, use plural verb. Neither, on the other hand, is often followed by a singular verb and it stands alone and begins a sentence. The phrase either or and neither nor are correlative conjunctions used in English to connect two alternatives. They follow specific patterns in sentences. Okay? The specific patterns means we should use verb according to them. We should, you can say the options which are available, they should follow the word either or neither nor. And the verb should be used according to the second subject always. Case of either or construction. Function used to present two alternatives or possibilities where typically only one can be chosen or is true. The structure is usually either plus first option or plus second option. Typical structure which we should follow when we are using the word either or. When the subjects connected by either or are different number, the verb agrees with the subject closer to it. This one is very, very important, that the verb should be used according to the nearest subject. Either John or his friends are going to the party. Sentence is correct. Why so? Because we are using the option either or, and his friends are going to the party. Now, because his friends are the nearest option to the verb, we use are. Use are according to the nearest subject or the second subject. Also, we should follow the structure of using either or. I cannot say that if I say you, either you, or either you go to the park, or these are two options available. But you are not the option. So this sentence will be incorrect, and the rectification of it should be either should be placed after the word you, because you have both the options. Either go to the park or sleep. You cannot use either in the because we have two options available. One is go and another one is sleep. So these two are options which should be preceded by the either or phrase or either or conjunction. So you can say we should use options just after the word either and or. Okay, we cannot use before or after them. Sorry, before or somewhere after them. Neither nor used to negate both the two alternatives or possibilities. This structure is usually neither plus first option, after that nor plus second. You cannot have neither plus something noun or determiner then first option. That will be incorrect. Similar to either or, when using neither nor with subjects of different numbers, the verb typically agrees with the subject closer to it. Okay, neither the manager nor the employees were aware of the policy change. So you can see employees with the word nor. So we are using verb which is plural verb. Absolutely correct. Why so? Because verb should follow the verb should be used according to the nearest subject. Let us move to the next one. Points to note or points to remember. Consistency in parts of a speech. Try to maintain parallel structure. The parts connected by either or, neither nor should be the same part of a speech. Example 2. This is also important with these two. When we use either or structure or neither nor, both the options should be of same part. Either in the morning or in the evening works for me. Either in the morning or I'm free in the evening. If this is in this sentence, because both the in both the parts or in both the on both the sides we have the same structure or sorry same part of a speech. Whereas in the second sentence, here morning is noun, here also morning is noun. But here the evening is a noun, but I'm free. This is not the structure of noun. This is sentence. This sentence, the above sentence is correct, whereas the below sentence. Negation with neither nor. Remember that neither nor itself provides the negation. Avoid using another negative like not in the same clause to prevent a double negative. Neither the proposal nor the plan was accepted. Correct. But if I say neither the proposal nor the plan was not accepted, that will be incorrect, because neither nor themselves show the structure negative, or themselves show the negative structure or make the negative construction. We cannot use the word not to again negate the structure. Polarity shift with either or. Using either or can change the overall polarity of a sentence from negative to positive. For example, I don't like either apples or oranges. Negative versus I like either apples or oranges. Okay? This is positive sentence. In fact, we should use positive either positively and either negatively. Choices and exclusion. Either or often implies a choice between two distinct options, while neither nor excludes the option. As I told you earlier as well, when we have two options and we have the option to choose either the first one or the second one. Either or refers to that you can make the choice between the two. Okay, but only one of them. Neither nor, you have both the things, but you cannot have both of them. That when we use the neither nor, it excludes the option. That is why we use the word neither nor. In positive sense, we should use either or in negative sense, use neither nor. Now, this is all about none, neither, and nor, which we have discussed in detail. And in fact, this is um, extreme detail of anything, okay, that we can have. So I hope now the use of either or, neither nor, neither, either, none, you can use them easily, because now you know each and every construction that can be possible with the use of these. Okay. Well, that's all for today. In the next session, we'll discuss some more determiners. And if you want to learn more determiners, stay connected with me